We often see our creativity as an escape from what troubles us, from what's annoying us and causing us anxiety, from the stress of social work and personal life. The problem is your retreat can quickly become your poison and your prison. This tends to happen when we overload ourselves. For me, the past 2 weeks have been nothing but bombardment of creativity. Coming up with ideas for videos, getting ready for NaNoWriMo. I started baking again, and Halloween is a very important holiday to me. I like to dress up and do the costume thing, so I've been maybe going a little overboard with that. But October has been a crazy creative month, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon, and quite frankly, I'm exhausted. My days off from work, where I'd normally spend them doing the creative things that give me energy, I just don't want to do it. And it showed in my last video. I was, quite frankly, embarrassed to upload that. I knew it was fueled by creative burnout. I knew it was fueled by procrastination. I spent the whole day hanging out with my friend, and I could have been recording during that time. Luckily, there's a few easy ways to identify creative burnout, and even easier ways to fix it, though you may not be a fan of some of them. Symptoms of creative burnout are easy to recognize, but they are almost taught as part of the job description now. The common symptoms are doubt, defensiveness, irritability, physical symptoms of stress, and, quite simply, you aren't enjoying it. Doubt is a part of any art. You're going to encounter doubt for the rest of your life. Actors encounter it, writers encounter it, salespeople encounter it. It's a part of life, but it should not be debilitating. You should not be staring at a piece of paper for 3 hours, crying because you're frustrated over what you're not doing. Because you're like, well, why even put it on the paper? Doubt should be a caution, okay, I don't want to go too over the top, but I need to believe in myself. Defensiveness, when it's not necessary. This happens when your friend says something like, well, why is Ashley doing that in chapter 3 instead of this? And instead of giving the answer, well, I don't want to write it that way, you get defensive, you start getting angry almost, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. You start saying things, well, Ashley has to do this in chapter 3. Did I say chapter 3? I don't even remember now. Irritability, which kind of plays into that. You're frustrated. You're frustrated about doing the thing that you enjoy. For me, I love Halloween, but I'm not looking forward to going Halloween shopping because I know I'm going to stress about it the entire time. Well, I need this brand of things, and I don't even want to do this anymore. When you start talking like that, it's time to reevaluate. And oh gosh, the physical symptoms of stress. So if you are not typically a stressed out person, let's talk about this for a second. This is aches and pains in your joints and muscles. This is exhaustion when you are normally fine. This is like, oh, hey, I've only been up for 3 hours, but I sat down to write and now I'm exhausted. It's heart palpitations, it's shaking, and it's awful. And usually these are signs of anxiety attacks or panic attacks. But when you're associating them with your writing, you may not look at it and see it that way. You may just be like, oh, I'm excited. And of course, I think the most obvious one, you aren't enjoying it. If the thought of writing and proceeding with your creative projects brings you dread, you have creative burnout. Now that we have addressed what creative burnout is, here's a couple ways to fix it, or at least to get back into the swing of things. No writer is going to want to hear this, but take a day off. I don't know about you, but writing is my personal second job. I don't get paid for it, but I'm still putting in the emotional labor. I enjoy writing, I do, but when I look at it as work and things I have to do, and if you're in the mindset of I want to publish, you really do look at it as a second job that you're not getting paid for, and that can be stressful. So when I say take a day off, I mean don't do anything writing related. Don't check in on your favorite writing podcast. It can wait, you can catch up on it tomorrow. No, you don't need to check those character worksheets over. No, you don't. You don't need to check any worksheets. No, you don't need to work on your plot. And this is the hardest one. No, you don't need to read. Not today. This is the day when you go out and you run your errands, you hang out with your friends, you go on impromptu adventures, because all you may need is a change of scenery. You may just need to get out and experience something. And I find myself getting to that point where I'm like, I'm really irritated, and my friend will be like, hey, let's go have an adventure. I get out, I go have some fun, and I feel great. And then when I come back, I have so many ideas and new things to add. Take a day off. Well, now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's face it, none of you are going to take a day off. And those of you that do, I applaud you. I take one maybe every 3 months. I'll be like, nope, I'm done. I need a day to myself. Every other day is spent on my creative pursuits. So here's a couple small things you can do to kind of reset. Read. Unlike the last method, I encourage you to read. Whether that's a book on, I have a book on how to write series. Sometimes I just need to read. I need to see someone else's words because, I'm sorry, sometimes my arrangement of words becomes lackluster. And that's just because I've written them. Biographies, anything you can get your hands on, even if it's just fan fiction. Gosh, go read your fan fiction. Take a hot bath. Sometimes it's tension that's keeping you in place, that's keeping you from continuing to write and to pursue this. Lay down in a hot bath. Take a bath bomb, take some bubble bath, spend an hour just relaxing. Don't think about writing. Play some music if you have to. Take a nap. You might just be tired. There's nothing wrong with that. We all get tired. All right, here's the one that I know someone's just going to be like, absolutely not. Exercise. Get your blood moving. Go for a walk. Go for a run. Take the dog out. Do some push-ups. Plank. Do something. Reconnect with nature. Oh my gosh. Some days I'll just go barefoot, stand in the front yard, take a couple of deep breaths, and I'm like, okay, I feel better. There is no science behind this. These are just things that work for me. So, hot bath, music, read, exercise, naps. God, I love naps. If you've made it this far, congratulations, because that creative burnout is still affecting me hard. I know I'm late, I'm exhausted, and I really do need a day off, but since I'm just starting to post again, I really don't want to take one. That being said, I'm going to be bouncing ideas off of some of my creative friends, try and get other people involved in scripting and plans. I know I want to do a video on the link between mental health and creativity, and some other videos. But I'm just going to be honest with you guys, the burnout is just affecting me in a way that I didn't think it would. It hasn't been this bad in a while, and I'm just exhausted. So the video seems... I hope to some degree it helps you, even if it's just identifying creative burnout. I promise you I'm normally more put together than this. So, I'll see you guys next Wednesday and Thursday. Bye. Thursday.